I can't tell you how many guys I walked up to who totally bailed on us and just kind of looked at them and like took them aside at a bar or something and just was like, whoops. Oh, yeah. We wanted to be a big famous rock and roll band. Our fights are epic.
Everything happened just the way it had to get us here.
We were humbled because we realized how hard it was to succeed. We grew up very privileged.
Are you gonna ask us where the name comes from?
Cut.
Hey guys.
Hello, sir.
How are you?
Good to see you.
Jesse.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
Adam.
What's going on?
Please sit down. Adam and Jesse, you are on the record with Fuse. You comfortable?
What a big chair. Can I put my feet on it?
You can do anything you want to do.
Nice shoes.
Thanks, brother.
Very, very nice shoes.
How's it going?
It's going good.
So, 15 years since the first gig.
Probably more than that. Probably 20 years or so since we played our first gig.
God,
As
no way.
13-year-olds, you know. Almost.
We're 31 now.
So it couldn't be 20 years.
No, I'm not good at math, obviously.
But close. How do you keep the vibe and the relationships together between you guys?
We all have differences. I mean, Jesse and I are best friends, and we couldn't be more different. I think that the key to a healthy relationship with your band is definitely give people their distance, let people be who they're going to be. Of course, criticize it in a nice way. Everyone has to be kept in check, you know, and I think that we all definitely do that.
How is he kept in check?
We just yell at him a lot.
They beat the shit out of me. I mean, listen, we all have our little quirks and issues, you know, and I think that obviously nobody's perfect. I think that we're all really diplomatic about making each other feel good and could do it even more, I think. So.
Yeah, you look good today.
You look delicious. See?
That's awesome. You guys, have you ever almost broken up? Had a big fight where you had to separate for a couple of days?
Our fights are epic.
Not as much anymore. I think we used to fight to pass time on the road.
If you work hard enough and you're sexually frustrated enough, you will fight. End of story.
I mean, when you put it like that, then it's not just going to be yelling and pushing each other's buttons, but you start wrestling.
Exactly, and then that turns into like, cut.
So, rebounding from these fights, how's that done?
Well, we know that if we fight, it's not gonna be over. None of us are so stubborn to the point where we would actually let anything that we're really fighting about break us up.
So, when you're 6, something happened that kind of changed your life and instilled you with a ton of confidence. Tell me the story of what happened.
I met Deepak Chopra. I was on a basketball team when my dad was the coach of the team. And, you know, we're 6-year-old kids. And my dad got, believe it or not, he got a technical foul, right? Which is like...
For yelling at the ref.
I don't know if you guys have been to a 6-year-old basketball game. Bad form. We were up by 1 point. The kid makes them both, so now we're down by 1. And so my dad's now responsible for us potentially losing this game. But the ball came into me, and all I'd ever do is just dribble into the left-hand corner every time, because I would never use my right hand. And I just kind of threw up the ugliest shot in the history of basketball, because it kind of like just grazed the top of the backboard and just fell in. So it was this like kind of epic, crazy moment. And my dad hit the ground, you know, like bowing in servitude because he couldn't believe that I saved his ass. And maybe subconsciously that triggered something in my personality. I was a really shy kid. So that got rid of that really quickly.
Was he popular in school?
Kinda.
We were all kind of the same. I think when we joined the band, we kind of became popular.
Kara's Flowers.
Yeah.
Wait, who's this Kara who you guys were all crushing on and named a band after? And
This girl, we loved her, man. I don't know, we brought her flowers one day and started our band that day.
when you name a band after the girl, is it flattering to her, or is she like, this is kind of stalkerish, you guys like leave me
No,
alone?
I think she liked it. And we stayed friends all throughout high school.
Did anybody ever actually close the deal with this girl, or
No.
not really?
No, are you kidding me? We were 15-year-old
I mean, like,
dorks. We were so lame.
But then you get 16, 17, you get signed as
How?
Kara's Flowers.
Well, of course, I mean, I think I made out with her.
How did you manage to get a record deal?
This was amazing. It was like straight out of a fairy tale storybook thing. We recorded our first demo tape ever at Room 222 Studios.
amidst all the other stuff.
So that very night, with our fresh tape, we went out to play a beach party in Malibu, and a producer was walking his dog along the beach and heard us playing.
So stupid sounding.
Can we?
What's that sound?
Yeah, exactly. Totally. Do you guys have a demo
seriously,
tape?
It was like, do you have a demo tape? I want to go into the studio with
The
you.
next
like,
day,
literally, like the only thing he was missing was like cigar.
Karis Flowers has one sound and one vibe. You guys go to college in New York and discover hip hop and R&B.
Ish.
Well, go to college-ish.
Yeah.
The real story is I was madly in love with this girl, Jane, and I wanted an excuse to go see her because she was going to be at a college, Oberlin in Ohio. So I was like, college? I'll go to college. Normally this wouldn't fly. However, we chose the most ghetto college you could possibly go to. We emailed at the place and we're like, hey, we want to come to college. This was a week before class started, you guys. And they're like, yeah, sure, come on down. Five Towns College, Dix Hills, Long Island. We drove cross country to New York to go to college. Of course, on the way, stopping in Oberlin to say hello to the girl I was chasing after who didn't really like me that much. So we get to New York, and we are staying at the SUNY Farmingdale dorms. We're the only white people there, pretty much. So we knew about hip hop. We're from LA, you know, but there were things that we heard for the first time in a certain context that was very special. And we both thought at the time that we wanted to be a jam band and we wanted to play, you know, noodly rock and roll music. But then we were like, wow, like it seems like rock and roll is kind of over. It seems like the new rock and roll is this music. And I think that's eventually what led to our success, which was our kind of desire to shake things up. And we wanted to be an R&B group.
You were already signed in the music business and you took a guitar class. What was the grade?
I got an F. I got a lot of Fs, man.
How could you get an F in guitar class?
Because my teacher was kind of a dickhead. Like, no, I'm
blame
serious.
it on
no,
him.
No, no. I stopped
no.
going. I stopped going.
Wait,
Let me tell you why I blame it on him. I don't
What's
blame.
his name?
His name is. I'll never forget him. Never forget you. And here's why I'm mad at you. Okay? Because you f***ed me. Where are you? Where is he? You f***ed me. Here's why you f***ed me. I came to him before the end of the semester and I was like, hey man, I'm clearly failing your class. Like, what can I do? And he was like, you know what, man, it's cool. Like, I'm gonna give you like a C or C minus, but you just gotta show up the rest of the classes. You got like 10 more classes. Didn't miss one more class. Did well on my final exam, whatever that was. Give me a F. And that's f***ed up. I did those things and he still failed me. I think that's punk.
As a guitar player, are you good enough that you deserve what, an A?
I think so. I think Adam deserves
Hell
an A.
yeah, I deserve an A. I made a life out of it. But some of it that I heard was just felt like it left me feeling very gross, like I wanted to take a shower.
So I read through your Twitter. You said, seems like these days pop music's central thesis is more or less, don't worry about it, and drink and dance and be slutty and stuff. And then you write, yikes. Is that really, I mean, really?
It's so funny because I totally forget that once you tweet something, it's out there. We started recently listening to the radio again, and a lot of the stuff I've been listening to on the radio just is very vapid and very empty. I don't like that. I'm not saying there shouldn't be fun in music, and I'm not, condemning all music, but some of it that I heard was just felt like it left me feeling very gross, like I wanted to take a shower.
But then, what is the central thesis of Maroon 5?
Keeping it real.
And just being honest and having the songs come from us. It doesn't come from a songwriter, and especially lyrically, it comes from, my mind or my experiences or from my heart, things that I'm actually going through that I feel compelled to write about. And it feels as though there's not enough of that anymore.
So you talk about where the songs of Maroon 5 come from, but the things that you're singing about, what is the central thesis that we get out of that stuff?
I think maybe human relationships.
I agree with that. But also, a lot of these songs can be taken as metaphors for other types of relationships, you know? That happened on the last record with Makes Me Wonder.
It's interesting that you changed it up to make this new album, Hands All Over. You make it in Switzerland. What is it all about?
Girls. I was going through a lot, man. I was confused about so much that was going on and kind of feeling very alone. You know, I didn't have anybody in my life, and I was all over the map. I was really just writing every single possible feeling or emotion I was having. That's really what this was. This was an examination of my innermost, you know, emotions.
So what does the title mean? Hands All Over?
I don't know what that means.
You don't know? Did you come up with it?
Yeah. Basically, there was a song that we had written, and at the base of it was this really amazing beat. And Mutt said, "Okay, I don't like the song. Start over."
Mutt Lang.
Yeah.
Actually, a legendary producer,
He is.
AC/DC, Def Leppard, The Cars. I mean, he lives in Switzerland, so that's why you were there.
He's done everything.
Major League Hall of Fame producer.
Big time. And he heard this song, and he's like, "Okay, I love the drums," which is the one thing I didn't do. The drums. He's like, "So start over from the drums." And I was like, "You bastard." No, I was really receptive to his criticism because it's good to be pushed. And we started over, and I was writing this melody for this new song that we were going to write over this beat, and Hands All Over. You know, put your hands all over me, just kind of came out of my mouth, and it was born.
If you'd done this with a different producer, totally different album, right? Even though it's the same 5 guys.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
What he does is he focuses so specifically on whatever project he's working on and gets the best sound for that particular album. His ears are so finely tuned that he hears frequencies that most people don't hear.
More than you guys.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Dude, he's a freak.
So I think that's sort of his
He'll hear
secret.
it, You're like, what are you talking about? He'll be like, "Yo, that right there, did you hear that?" I'm like, "No, I have normal ears."
The video for Misery is kind of awesome and surprising and jumps out at you. And the thing that really jumps out at you is the car stunt, where the guys seem to be getting hit by the cars. Are you actually doing the car stunt? No.
No, that was a little
Those
too
are all
badass for us.
doubles.
Those were all stunt doubles.
Why'd you put your real girlfriend in the video?
You know, I'm a big fan of the idea that if you're gonna have that kind of dynamic in a video, like, why not go for real chemistry? Without that, it's just not gonna be good.
She's this awesome smirk as she's beating your ass because he's so annoying, even though I love him.
That was the cool part about the video is it was all very tongue-in-cheek. It was all very cartoonish. It wasn't like, you know, to be taken seriously. And that's why kind of the director said, he's like, you got to do this all with a wink. You got to do it with a smirk. If it for 1 second is to be taken seriously, it won't work, and it'll be really corny and just violent for no reason. You know? You go to another country, they don't care. There's nudity everywhere. There's nudity after 10 o'clock on the TV.
So 5 towns, colleges, colors are maroon and white.
Did not even remember that.
I had no idea.
So to me, I'm saying, oh, duh, here's the story. Maroon 5.
No, that's a very, very good guess. That's not true though, but the colors of the school, I never thought about that.
Yes, you did.
I did not. I'm telling you that
so
I did not.
what
I'm
is-
clearly not
so
a
what is-
dishonest person.
No, that's
I would
true.
tell you
That's
the truth.
True. That's true. So, all right, so Maroon 5.
Are you gonna ask us where the name comes from?
No.
Okay, good.
Where does the name come from?
You know the story about that. We don't tell anybody except for when Adam told Billy Joel.
I had a few
Why?
drinks, okay, and it was, you know, it was a moment.
So if
It's a
I get
terrible
you drunk
story.
and I write a couple of hits, you'll tell me?
Yeah. You write New York State of Mind, we're good.
Well,
Which I'm sure he doesn't remember the story because you know what? It's not that interesting.
Songs About Jane took 26 months to get to number 6. And it's not something that would really normally happen in the record business now, that if you don't hit right away,
Yeah.
they'd move on.
Yeah,
So
they knew
why
that
is
from
it
the
that
beginning.
you guys and the label stick with you 2 years and keep pressing it and keep rising?
because they were visionaries, really. Like they.
Yeah, I think progress. There was progress. I think we sold 1,000 our first week. And then, of course, that petered off. I think we sold like 200 the next week. And we were on tour for so long that every week you'd sell 10 more records, 20 more records, 50 more records, 200 more, you know.
So you're going up.
And then you find yourself, oh my God, we sold 100,000 records.
Is this an example of why the record business should stick with groups and give them a chance to grow an audience?
Yeah, you're right. You're totally right. And it sucks that we live in this cutthroat world now where, you know, if it doesn't stick on the wall within the first week, then they pull it away. And we've experienced that kind of failure before, so we know what it's like to go through something where you get dropped and you're immediately, no one cares about you.
You really believed it when they told you
We really
love
believed
you.
it, yeah.
That broke your heart.
But then you have the amazing opportunity when you do become successful to really stick it to them, which was a fantastic experience. I can't tell you how many guys I walked up to who totally bailed on us and just kind of looked at them and like took them aside at a bar or something and just was like, whoops.
That's got to be like the best thing in life.
Oops.
And they could have made the money along with you, and that
If they had
payback
just
is-
stuck with us a little longer, you know, just a little longer. But it feels good, kind of.
The video for This Love is great, it's passionate, sexual, it's really interesting. And you don't really show anything. You're clothed, she's clothed, you know, even though you're half
We're
naked.
pretty naked.
But
They edited it.
Well, the editing, right, is the thing that bothers you. Like, why are we so prudish that we gotta like...
It's so dumb. I mean, this country has got to get over sex. What's really crazy is that violence, you know.
I know.
I mean, God, it's crazy how desensitized. You got these kids playing Call of Duty. You ever played Call of Duty? You go to another country, they don't care. There's nudity everywhere. There's nudity after 10 o'clock on the TV. And like, you know, it's crazy.
I'm all for that.
We're just so prude. This country is so prude. I don't know why, but, you're right. There's no serious nudity, you know? The reason that happened was because of the Janet Jackson thing.
Right.
Wardrobe's malfunction.
I was like, come on, wardrobe malfunction. Like, really? Like, there was a hole for her boob to pop out of. That's not that's as premeditated as it gets. You know what I mean? That's like with a little button that he put, or like a little, like, come on.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a serious question. Do you really think that there is a chance in hell that the Lakers will beat the Miami Heat next year?
Getting all fired up right now.
Because you're a big Laker fan, and I know it's got to have you quaking in your boots that this behemoth has been created to slay your boys.
Well, first of all, two-time champions don't quake in boots. Oh, he's got 5 rings. So, Mr. James has now put himself in the position where they have to win. He doesn't win this year, he's a punk.
Thanks, man. Thanks.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
You can edit this, right? Oh, I didn't talk about. We stole someone's credit card when we were 15.
Wait, so you stole someone's credit card at
No,
15?
we didn't steal it.
I love when people say, we didn't steal it.
We didn't steal it. She left it. It's her fault.
Yeah, the person didn't
Whatever.
know we had it.
She shouldn't have left it. She didn't want us to take it. No, we were at a Weezer concert. Me and all my football playing buddies, and we found this credit card on the floor, and it said, "I'll never forget her name." I don't know if she's still around, but we found her credit card, and we went straight to 7-Eleven, and just took everything. It was bad. I was a kid.
Would you run up $100?
I mean, it felt like $1 million, you know, because we were kids. It was probably like $200, something like that. We were drunk. I mean, stupid. Kids are stupid, man. Kids are stupid.
They're so dumb.
I can look back in retrospect now and say that I was stupid to have done that.
Cool. Thanks, brother.
Right on.
All right.
See you soon.